Good morning, everybody. நான் தமிழ்லேயே பேசுகிறேன். சேர்மன் வந்து சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாரு, ஃபேஸ்புக் ட்விட்டர் யூசேஜ் பற்றி, மொபைல் ஃபோன் யூசேஜ் பற்றி சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாரு. இதெல்லாம் வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட் லெவல்ஸ் ஆஃப் கண்ட்ரோல்ஸ் இருக்குன்னு சொல்றதுக்காக ஒரு சம்பவத்தை சொல்லி ஆரம்பிக்கலாம்னு இருக்கேன். யூஸ்வலி எங்கள் ஆஃபீஸில் நான் அவர் சொல்கிற மாதிரி தான் நானும் ஃபுல்லாகவே ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 24/7 சோஷியல் மீடியாவில் இருக்கிற ஆள் நான். பட் அட் த சேம் டைம் அதை வந்து ஒரு சைடில் ஓப்பன் பண்ணி வச்சுட்டு எனக்கு வந்து அது வந்து இட்ஸ் அ ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் ரிலாக்ஸேஷன். சில பேர் வந்து ரொம்ப நேரம் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு ரொம்ப டயர்ட் ஆகிட்டா வீட்டில் போய் ஒரு வாக் போயிட்டு வருவாங்க, ஒரு ஸ்மோக் பண்ணிட்டு வருவாங்க, ஏதாவது ஒரு டீ சாப்பிடுவாங்க, காஃபி சாப்பிடுவாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி வந்து எனக்கு வந்து ஒரு 15 நிமிஷத்துக்கு ஒரு தடவை சோஷியல் மீடியா பக்கம் போய் ஒரு சுற்றிட்டு வந்து ஒர்க்கை கண்டினியூ பண்ணால் அது கொஞ்சம் ஒரு ரெஃப்ரெஷ் ஆன மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபீலிங் இருக்கும். அதுக்காக ஃபுல்லாகவே ஆன்லைனில் இருக்கிறது. அப்போ ஏதாவது இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான ஒரு விஷயம் கண்ணில் பட்டா இமீடியட்டா அதை வந்து ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்ணுவேன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், என்னோட சில ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்ல இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்கிறவங்க இருப்பாங்க, சில ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து இலக்கியத்தில் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்கிறவங்க இருப்பாங்க, ஆஃபீஸ்ல சில பேர் வந்து மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் தவிர வேற எதுலையும் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இல்லாதவங்க இருக்காங்க. அந்த மாதிரி ஆட்களுக்குன்னு ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான மேட்டர் கண்ணில் பட்டு அது இவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் பயன்படும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதை ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்றது வழக்கம். அப்படி ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்ணும்போது மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த டைம்ஸ் எனக்கு கிடைக்கிற ரிப்ளை வந்து என்னவா இருக்கும்னா, நீ கொடுத்த லிங்க் வந்து ஃபேஸ்புக் லிங்க், நீ கொடுத்தது ட்விட்டர் லிங்க், அது வந்து எங்களால் ஆக்சஸ் பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பதில் வரும். ஸோ நான் வந்து எங்க ஐடி டீம் கிட்ட போய் கேட்டேன், என்னது ஃபேஸ்புக் ட்விட்டர்லாம் ஏன் பிளாக் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கீங்க, ஆஃபீஸ்ல வந்து ஏன் பிளாக் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கீங்க? இல்ல அதெல்லாம் வந்து நான் ஒர்க் ரிலேட்டட் வெப்சைட், அதெல்லாம் பிளாக் பண்ண சொல்லி சீனியர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. எனக்கு ஏன் ஓப்பன் ஆயிருக்கு அதெல்லாம் அப்படின்னு, நீங்க சீனியர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்ல இருக்கிறதுனால உங்களுக்கு ஓப்பன் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ தட் மீன்ஸ் ஆஃபீஸ்குள்ளேயே வந்து ஒரு வர்க்க பிரிவினை வந்தாச்சு. சீனியர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்ல இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாம் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிள், அவங்க எல்லாம் வந்து ஃபேஸ்புக் ட்விட்டரை வந்து ஒழுங்கா யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க, அதுக்கு கீழே இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் பொறுப்பு கிடையாது, அவங்களுக்கு ஓபன் பண்ணி விட்டா அவங்க நாள் முழுக்க ஸ்டேட்டஸ் அப்டேட் பண்ணிட்டு டைம் வேஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு முடிவு பண்ணியாச்சு ஐடி. பட் ஆக்சுவலா என்ன நடக்குதுன்னா, இந்த யாருக்கெல்லாம் பிளாக் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்களோ அவங்க தான் they find ways to access those websites in illegal means. இன்ஃபேக்ட் இப்போ 2-3 நாள் கூட வந்து ஸ்டாட்டிஸ்டிக்ஸ் பார்த்தபோது எங்களுக்கு என்ன தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா, இந்த யூடியூப் வெப்சைட் வந்து சீனியர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்ல இருக்கிற ஒரு 8-9 பேருக்கு மட்டும் அலோவ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. பாக்கி இருக்கிற ஒரு 100 பேருக்கு யூடியூப் டிசேபிள் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. பட் யூடியூப் யூசேஜ் ஸ்டாட்டிஸ்டிக்ஸ் பார்த்தா யாருக்கெல்லாம் டிசேபிள் பண்ணிருக்காங்களோ அவங்க வந்து யாருக்கு எனேபிள் பண்ணிருக்காங்களோ அவங்களோட 10 டைம்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அது எப்படின்னு ஐடி டீமுக்கே தெரியல. பிளாக் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க, ஆனா அவங்கள விட இவங்க தான் 10 மடங்கு அதிகமா யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. குறிப்பா ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் பர்சனோட பேரை சொல்லி சொன்னாங்க, அவங்க வந்து ஹிந்தியில வர அத்தனை மெகா சீரியலையும் யூடியூப்ல விடாம பாக்குறாங்க ஆபீஸ் டைம். இது வந்து பிளாக் பண்ணி வச்ச போது அப்படின்னா அன்பிளாக் பண்ணா என்ன ஆகும் நீங்களே யோசிக்கலாம். சோ இதுல 2 விதமான ஆர்குமெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஒண்ணு, இதெல்லாம் ஆகாது, இதெல்லாம் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி வச்சாதான் வந்து ஒழுங்கா வேலை பார்ப்பாங்க அப்படிங்கிறது. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு வந்து வேலைக்கு பதிலா படிப்பு, இதெல்லாம் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணாதான் ஒழுங்கா படிப்புல கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. பட் ரியாலிட்டி இஸ், திருடுறவங்க எப்படியா இருந்தாலும் திருடுறதுக்கு they will find a way. அதுல வந்து சந்தேகமே கிடையாது. அதுக்கு பதிலா மேக்கிங் இட் ஓபன் வில் மேக் இட் மோர், அதாவது இந்த ஒரு படத்துல, ரஜினி படத்துல வரும், நிறைய பணம் வந்து செலவு பண்ணி ஒரு கட்டத்துல வந்து ஒரு பணம் செலவு பண்றத வந்து ஒரு மாதிரி வெறுக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருவாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி ஓபன் பண்ணி விட்டா அது வந்து யூசேஜ் குறையும், பீப்புள் வில் பிகம் மோர் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிள்ங்கிறது என்னோட கட்சி. இதுக்கு எங்க வீட்லயே ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் பார்த்தேன். என் ஒய்ஃப் வந்து புதுசா லேப்டாப்லாம் வாங்கி கொடுத்தேன், அவங்க யூஸ் பண்ண கத்துக்கிட்டு யூடியூப்னா என்னன்னு சொன்னாங்க, என்னன்னு கேட்டாங்க, நான் சொல்லி கொடுத்தேன். அவங்களுக்கு வந்து யூடியூப்ல இந்த சமையல் குறிப்பெல்லாம் வரும், அதெல்லாம் தேடி கண்டுபிடிச்சு பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தாங்க. வழக்கமா எங்க வீட்டுல வந்து இன்டர்நெட் பில் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா மாசத்துக்கு வந்து ஒரு 800 ரூபாய் 900 ரூபாய் வரும். அவங்களுக்கு என்னைக்கு யூடியூப் சொல்லி கொடுத்தனோ அந்த மாசம் 3500 ரூபாய் வந்தது பில். நான் வந்து ஆடி போயிட்டேன், எப்படி 3500 ரூபாய் வந்தது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பார்த்தா ஃபுல்லா வீடியோஸ் வந்து பாத்துருக்காங்க. சோ நான் யோசிச்சேன், என்ன பண்ணலாம், இதை ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் பண்ணலாமா, என்ன பண்ணலாம். அப்புறம் வந்து எனக்கு இது தோணுச்சு, ஓகே விடலாம், என்ன பண்ண முடியும், எவ்வளவு பார்க்க முடியும். அப்ப ட்விட்டர்ல கூட ஒரு மெசேஜ் போட்டேன், உங்களுக்கு ஞாபகம் இருக்கா என்னன்னு தெரியல, குத்து மதிப்பாக தமிழ்ல வந்து எத்தனை யூடியூப் சமையல் குறிப்புகள் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு போட்டிருந்தேன். மிஞ்சி போனா எத்தனை 2 மாசம் பார்ப்பாங்களா, 3 மாசம் பார்ப்பாங்களா, அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்க்கறதுக்கு சமையல் குறிப்பே இருக்காது இல்லையா அப்படின்னு விட்டுட்டேன். இப்ப நேற்று காரில் வந்துட்டு இருந்த போது அவங்க சொன்னாங்க, அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 1 மாசம் தான் கொஞ்சம் ஒரு மாதிரி த்ரில்லா இருந்தது, அடிக்கடி தேடி கண்டுபிடிச்சு பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தேன். பட் அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன தெரிஞ்சு போச்சுன்னா, என்ன வேணும்னாலும் ஒரு சர்ச் பண்ணா இமீடியட்டா அந்த வீடியோ கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னு தெரிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் now I am not using it much அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி பில் வந்து ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா பழைய அமௌண்ட்டுக்கு வந்துருச்சு. சோ இது எதுக்காக சொல்றேன்னா, இந்த கண்ட்ரோல்ங்கிறது ஒரு அளவுக்கு தான் பயன்படும். சொல்லப்போனா சில டைம்ல கண்ட்ரோல் வந்து தப்பு பண்ண தூண்டும். அட் த சேம் டைம் ஃபேஸ்புக்லயும் ட்விட்டர்லயும்
பயனுள்ள விஷயங்கள் நிறைய இருக்கு. நம்ம எப்படி பயன்படுத்திக்கிறோங்கிறத பொறுத்து தான். இப்போ வந்து சுஜாதா ஒரு தடவை இன்டர்நெட் பத்தி எழுதியிருந்த போது சொல்லியிருந்த ஒரு வாசகம், எக்ஸாக்டா வேர்ட்ஸ் ஞாபகம் இல்லை, பட் அவர் சொல்லியிருந்த விஷயம் என்னன்னா, இன்டர்நெட்டை பயன்படுத்தி அணுகுண்டு செய்வது எப்படின்னு கத்துக்கலாம், அதே சமயத்துல நமக்கு யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா நம்ம என்ன வேணுமோ அதையும் கத்துக்கலாம், அதாவது என்ன வேணா பண்ணலாம் இன்டர்நெட்டை வச்சு அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி எழுதியிருந்தார். அதுதான் உண்மை. சேம் அப்ளைஸ் டு சோஷியல் மீடியா ஆல்சோ. அரட்டையிலேயே நேரத்தை செலவிடுறவங்களும் இருக்காங்க, அதை எஃபிஷியன்டா யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அதன் மூலமா பலன் தர்றவங்களும் இருக்காங்க. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச சோஷியல் மீடியா மூலமா ஜாப் வாங்கினவங்க இருக்காங்க, சோஷியல் மீடியா மூலமா நல்ல ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் நெட்வொர்க் பில்ட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டவங்க இருக்காங்க, புது பிசினஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சவங்க நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க சோஷியல் மீடியா மூலமா. ஃபுல்லா சம்பளத்துக்கு வேலை பார்த்துட்டு இருப்பாங்க, பட் ஒரு 5-6 பேர் ஒரு லைக் மைண்டட் பீப்புள் சோஷியல் மீடியால இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் ஆகி ஓகே நம்ம எல்லாம் சேர்ந்து இப்படி பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஜாபை விட்டுட்டு சொந்தமா ஒரு தொழில் தொடங்கி பெரிய அளவில் வெற்றி அடைஞ்சவங்க இருக்காங்க. அவங்க ஃப்ரீலான்சர்ஸா போய் அந்த மாதிரி சோஷியல் மீடியாவை மட்டுமே யூஸ் பண்ணி பலன் அடைஞ்சவங்க இருக்காங்க, அதை வச்சு வியாபாரம் பண்ணவங்க இருக்காங்க, எல்லா விதத்திலையும் பயன்படுத்திக்கிட்டவங்க இருக்காங்க. ஆனா இவங்க வந்து ஒரு 5% தான், அதான் உண்மை. பாக்கி இருக்கிற 95% ஒரு பொழுதுபோக்கா மட்டும் தான் பயன்படுத்துறாங்க. இப்ப நேத்து கூட ஒரு ரிப்போர்ட் படிச்சிட்டு இருந்தேன். அதுல வந்து என்ன சொன்னா, இந்தியால இன்டர்நெட் யூஸ் பண்றவங்க 92% பேர் Facebook யூஸ் பண்றாங்க, அதுவும் வாரத்துக்கு 7 நாள் யூஸ் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு அந்த ஸ்டாட்டிஸ்டிக் சொல்லுது. ஐ எம் நாட் சர்ப்ரைஸ்ட், இட்ஸ் சோ அடிக்டிவ். பட் ஒன்ஸ் யூ கெட் இன் டு தட், அங்க நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க அப்படிங்கறத பொறுத்து தான் நம்மளோட பயன்பாடு இருக்கு. அவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி விஜய்க்கு பெண் வேடம் போடுறது அது தப்பு கிடையாது. தட் ஷுட் ஆல்சோ பி தேர். இட்ஸ் லைக் என்டர்டைன்மெண்ட். அட் தி சேம் டைம் அதன் மூலமா எப்படி பயன்படுறது அப்படிங்கிறதும் முக்கியங்கிறதுனா இந்த ஒர்க் ஷாப்போட ஒரு அடிநாதமா நாங்க வச்சிருக்கோம். இதுல டிஃபரெண்ட் டாபிக்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஒவ்வொரு டாபிக்ஸ்லயும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் மாதிரி கொடுத்துட்டு ஜெனரலா அதை எப்படி பயன்படுத்தலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது சில பேருக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும், சில பேருக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்காதுங்கிறதுனால ஒரு குவிக் இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன். அதுக்கப்புறம் கொஞ்சம் டீப்பா போய் அட்வான்ஸ் திங்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணலாம், எப்படி பயன்படுத்திக்கலாம் அதை அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு விஷயத்தையும் கொடுக்கலாம்னு இருக்கோம். அவர் சேர்மன் சொன்ன மாதிரி கொஸ்டின் அண்ட் ஆன்சர் தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்து அதிக யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். நாங்க தயார் பண்ணிட்டு வந்துட்டு இருக்கிற கண்டென்ட் வந்து எங்க பார்வையில இருந்து தான் இருக்கும், உங்க பார்வையில இருந்து எங்களால ஒரு அளவுக்கு மேல பார்க்க முடியாது. அதனால நீங்க கேள்வி கேட்டீங்கன்னா that will help you also, உங்களுக்கு பதில் கிடைக்கும். எங்களுக்கும் when we are doing similar session to some other college, we will know how to see it from the student community perspective. So hopefully it will be a very interesting and useful session to everybody. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon. Can we start? Okay. I don't have any slides. I just have some notes here, but almost the structure is similar to what Badri did. Because Badri has covered some of the basic things about social media, what I thought is I'll only talk more focused about Twitter. So I was removing some content from here, but I'll use some more similar structure: what, why, and features. Of course, that features thing may not be too much of interesting to you because some of you are already using Twitter, but still, I thought I'll talk about some advanced features which are not very widely used, but they can be used to really improve your product. Okay, before we start, it's the same question. How many of you use Twitter? Okay, I see very few hands, less than 10 in around 250 people. It's not surprising, it's not a very popular site in India. The report that I was talking to you in the earlier speech, it's a report about Indian social media usage. That report was made in February 2013, and that gives a list of websites which are famous in India in terms of access. And Facebook is number 1, and Twitter is in number 4, and Orkut is ahead of Twitter. So it's not a surprise that Twitter is being used by less people. Let's just see why. What could be the reason? Twitter and Facebook are supposed to be similar. Okay? They both are having similar goals. I won't say same goals, but for some reason there are more people in Facebook, people of every age. Okay? For example, when let's say a marriage happens 10 years back, when a marriage happens, people will ask, where is Almu? Say all photos will be printed and then put in a nice album and then it will be given to people. That is 10 years back. 5 years back, people started asking, can you send me the photos by email? That became the trend. Now everybody are asking, have you shared it in Facebook? It's not they don't expect an album, they don't expect an email, they feel it will be there in Facebook. I can just go and see it. And it is true also. Most of my relatives, Badri was saying he is using Facebook purely for professional purpose, but I have a mix which is very confusing. And you go to your relative's Facebook page and I can see their marriage photo, their kids' first photo from hospital, their kids' naming ceremony, first birthday, second birthday. You can see their entire history in Facebook. So the use case is different in Facebook. So people are using it more for sharing and other things that Badri was explaining. Twitter, the main problem is it's too simple. When compared to Facebook, if you consider Facebook as a Swiss Army knife with so many tools, Twitter is like a simple hammer. Okay? It has only one functionality. All you can do in Twitter is go and post something called as tweets. Tweets are nothing but status messages. For example, I'm here, I'm doing a session, or Badri is doing a session. In Badri's session, PowerStar's photo came and then you all immediately logged. All those things I just post in Twitter. That's it. That's all I can do in Twitter. All I can do is I can say something which is happening now. That Twitter is now. That's one single word if I have to explain it. Okay, so it's so simple. You can't do anything beyond that. So that may be the reason why people are preferring Facebook to Twitter, because you can do so many other things. Additionally, Twitter has one additional challenge, which is called the size. 140 characters is the size of a single tweet, maximum size of a tweet. So you have to say whatever you want to say in 140 characters. So that's the additional challenge, which is not there in Facebook. In Facebook, you can write anything, pretty much anything. People write novels also in Facebook. So that's a challenge. So in a way it is bad, in a way it is good also, because you learn to be crisp. Okay. After I started using Twitter, one thing that I am observing is my emails are becoming shorter and shorter and shorter. Mainly because I am able to convey whatever I want to say, if not in 140 characters, maybe in 280 characters. 2 tweets, 3 tweets. I can just say whatever I want to say and then I can just stop. So it's effective communication is happening. In fact, I extended this and then wrote a short story with purely tweets only. That means a short story with around 50-60 tweets. You read it, it's a story, but when you read it individually, each one is less than 140 characters. Then I wrote a book using tweets. It was a history of Twitter. It was published by New Horizon Media, which is Badri's company. That book is a collection of around 3,500 tweets. You just read those tweets, the Twitter history is covered in that. So it can be extended. Even though it is 140 characters, it is an interesting challenge and you can extend it to anywhere. One of my friends, after using Twitter for so long, he came up with a suggestion. From now onwards, all my business emails are going to be 3 tweets long. That's what he said. That means 3 into 140, around 420 characters. That's what he will spend on any email. Okay, what if issue is very big and you can't cover it in 420 characters? He'll just pick the phone and talk. He said, anything which is conveyable in 420 characters, I will do it. Anything which is not conveyable in 420 characters, I will pick the phone and talk. So that is helping him a lot. So like that, there are a lot of benefits which you can also extract. Hopefully by end of this session, you all will go back and create a Twitter ID for yourself and then just try it. It's a huge challenge. There are people writing novels in Twitter using 140 character structures. There are people who are writing stories. In 140 characters, they complete a story. People write poetry. People write status updates in 140 characters. In fact, few managers in our company, they started expecting project updates in tweet size only. Just tell me in 140 characters whatever it is. I mean, those who have read Ramayana will know, Kandensi Day. That's it. It's not even 140 characters. 8 characters is all. and it is conveyed. And you know the Tirukural, all the 1,330 Tirukurals, they all are less than 140 characters. And now you have the confidence that everything can be said in a tweet. So all 1,330 Tirukurals are less than 140 characters. Okay, let's see what is the typical reason. So what we have answered, but we'll just quickly go through. It contains short status messages, less than 140 characters strictly. Even if Power Star or Rajnikant comes, you won't get extra space. It is 140 characters and that's it. There is absolutely no way you can skip that rule. Third one, you can share pictures, videos, links similar to Facebook, but they are all outside Twitter. That means you put a picture in Flickr and share it here. You put a video in YouTube and share it here. You put just go ahead and subscribe to I follow Sachin Tendulkar. So this is what we call building a network. So we can build a network by following others. And another interesting thing is Twitter, because it is now, I use the word now to explain Twitter. Because of this reason, Twitter gives you the current trend, what is happening across the world. For example, let's say some election is happening. You will see the results first in Twitter than any other media, whether it is print media or TV or internet media, anything. Because the moment you say print media or TV media or anything, people have, there is a cycle. Okay, I have to gather the news, I have to verify, I have to do this, that, all those things I have to do before I publish. Whereas in Twitter, I just take my phone, just type the message and send it. That's it. Similarly, if some fire accident happens, you'll see it first here. If an earthquake happens, you'll see it first here. You will see that first here. When a cricket match happens, most likely you will see scores faster in this because people will be on the ground, they will be seeing it, they will see a wonderful sixer, and then it will you will see it in other websites. So the now concept. So you can see what is happening, what the world is thinking about now. When you look at Twitter trends, when important events happen, for example, Pope election happened a couple of days back, then some cricket World Cup final is happening, or a football World Cup event is happening. When such events happen, you will get much faster and the real latest updates through Twitter. So that is another use case for using Twitter. So those are all like what Twitter is. Next, let's move to the next question, which is why. Why should I use Twitter? This also we answered partly, but these are the 4 reasons that I believe people normally use Twitter for. The first one is general urge. People just want to say what they are doing. It's like, okay, I am here, I did this, I ate this stuff, it was good, it was bad, I see a movie, it's very boring, whatever it is. People just want to say what they feel about it. So that's a general urge to share whatever we are doing. That's the first reason why people use Twitter. The second one is, it is becoming a digital journal. I just said, I went to somebody's Facebook profile and I saw photos of all their live events. Similar way, Twitter can also be used. For example, in the last 5 years, I have written X tweets. When I read all those X tweets, I can see it fully. In fact, sometimes I have purposefully I have gone back in my tweets. 5 years back, I will go. For example, I visited Mahabalipuram 5 years back. I just go to that day and then see the tweets. When I see the tweets, I can clearly see me going to airport, getting into the plane, getting down in Chennai, getting into a car, going to Mahabalipuram, seeing stuff, and then posting pictures, everything. It's becoming a digital journal. Unknowingly, I am creating my own diary or journal or whatever you want to call it. So that is another second one. Third one, which is what Badri was also stressing. Learn from others. You may learn from friends, you may learn from unknown people, you may learn from celebrities, you may learn from companies, brands, etc. etc. So what do we mean by learning? For example, there is a professor. He is the best in this particular field. I am following him. So whenever he is reading a new research or whenever he is doing a new research, he is publishing the result, he is tweeting about it. I have a question, I can post it to him and he is going to answer and stuff like that. So basically I learn from others. One simple example I always tell this to anybody who are asking about Twitter, the biggest use of Twitter. Simple, productivity, very simple example. Calendar. How many of you know the right spelling for calendar? L-E or L-A? Okay, L-E is the right spelling. I think you all are good students, so you know it. I was a bad student. I didn't learn it properly. I always wrote C-A-L-A and then I wrote the rest. So I was always making a mistake. So I was not sure whether it's just calendar or calendar. So I asked in Twitter. So many people came up and they gave suggestions. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? This is easy. That is easy to remember and all. One friend told me a very simple thing to remember. He said, calendar is nothing but you are lending your time to somebody. Just remember this, you will never make a mistake. So the lend part, the middle part is taken care. After that, it is easy to fill rest of the things. So this is something I will never forget. It's such a simple thing, but by posting it online, immediately I got so much of help. Similarly, I have to visit some place. I post in Twitter saying, hey, I have to visit this place. Anybody knows how to do it? Within no time, I get instructions on how to go there by car, how to go there by bus, train, whatever it is. People go up to the level of when you are on the way, don't forget to stop here and in this shop, you can get nice idlis. They go up to that level. You get that level of support, learning. Everything is learning. How can you say a good idli is not a useful information? So, that's what it is. We learn from others through Twitter. That is important. And the final use case, which is what I have been stressing from beginning, conveying everything in a very crisp manner. So, once you start tweeting, unknowingly, you will become better in communicating crisp. Your chairman was giving an example of the STD call. So you go and write a form, pay some amount, wait, make the call. So you know that it's very expensive, so you want to do it in very short time frame. Same way, there used to be something called telegram. I think none of you will know what a telegram is. So telegrams used to cost a lot. Every word that you put in telegram or probably every letter you put it in a telegram is expensive. So people had to learn to write very crisp telegrams. So if these mega serial people go to write a telegram and in no time they will lose all their money. So like Telegram, Twitter is a mini tool to make your communication crisp. So these days what we do is, like I said, I have only 1 minute, explain what it is in a tweet. Okay, I have 5 minutes, explain it in a Facebook message. I have 10 minutes, write me down. That's what it is. It's like, depending on the time frame you have, we ask for status updates in different levels. So that is another important thing, conveying messages in a short, crisp manner. So those are the why cases. Now I'm going to get on to the most important thing, which is features. Originally I thought of spending less time on this, but now because only very few of you are using Twitter, I have to sell Twitter to you. Okay? So I'm going to spend a little bit more time on that. So in terms of features, there are many features. Let me just go through one by one. First one is creating your own profile in Twitter. Creating a profile is similar to writing similar to creating an email address or anything. You just go fill a form, you enter a password, and you got your profile. That's it. It's as simple as that. But don't stop there. Once you have created a profile, also decorate a profile. So what we mean by decoration is, you can put a small picture which will appear next to your Twitter ID. Many times that picture motivates people to follow you, especially in case of women. And sometimes you put a picture of Rajnikant or Tendulkar in that, so people like, okay, I'll follow this fellow. He seems to be a fan of Rajnikant like me, whatever. So many times that picture makes people follow. And not only that, I have heard that these celebrities and these big people, they don't respond to tweets with no images attached to it. That means they feel it's a newly created Twitter account. This guy hasn't even cared to put his picture. Why should I answer this fellow? They don't take you seriously. So that way, it is very important that you have an online image. It's a Twitter image. So put your picture, a nice small picture of your face. Don't put your dog and all. That's not the real expectation. People expect to see you. When a face is attached, the conversation is much easier and smooth. There's few more decoration things that people use heavily, but I'll leave it to you. But the picture is very essential. The picture of you, that is very important. Number two, if you are worried your tweets may be misused by somebody, protect your Twitter account. So what it means is it becomes a private Twitter account. So people cannot follow you without your knowledge. So that's what is private Twitter. So what it means is you are writing something very sensitive, and you want to protect it. I am not a big fan of this protect feature. I feel Twitter should be open. Whatever we write, everybody should be seeing. If you don't want people to know what you are saying, don't say it. That's it. There is no point in saying it and then hiding it. Okay, that is my policy. But there are people who feel, no, I'm going to keep it very protected, especially for job related things. Like Badri said, if I'm hiring somebody, I'm going to do a Twitter verification, what this guy is talking about. In that case, if the account is protected, I will not be able to go inside and see. So that way, people think protecting their Twitter account helps. It's your call. You can decide. So that's the first part. Next is posting. Like I said, very simple. 140 characters is all you got. Just type and then post. It's as simple as that. The third one, replying. So when you say replying, somebody is asking you a question and you go and reply. That is one way. For example, you post a message to Tendulkar saying, hey, in today's game you didn't play well. What went wrong? So he comes and replies and says, hey, this is the reason. Whatever. So that is one way of saying it. The other way is somebody else is saying something and you just go and remark to it. For example, somebody says, I watched this movie, it was horrible. So you just want to go and say, yes, it was horrible, or no, it was good. So that is another kind of reply. For this purpose, this @ symbol is used. So you have to say @ followed by Twitter ID of the person and then you are replying to that person. So that is a very useful thing in Twitter because you can build a conversation. Like I said, this calendar example, or I'm going somewhere and I need help, or somebody needs blood, and then anybody has a blood group of AB negative or whatever it is. When such things happen, there has to be a conversation going on. Yes, I belong to this blood group. I want to donate. Where should I come? So he says, okay, please call this number. So a conversation happens, and then it is like chat, but it is not really a chat. Like Badri was saying, I also hate real-time chat because it disturbs my work. Whereas Twitter is not real-time chat, Twitter is near real-time chat. What it means is, somebody posted a question at 10 o'clock, I may reply at 10:01, or I may reply at 10:10, or I may reply at night 8 o'clock. It's totally with me. The control is totally with me. So use that intelligently. Don't think that every tweet needs answering immediately. That is wrong. I mean, I also have that problem. I feel when I see some reply, I want to immediately go there and reply to that person. But that is not the expectation. Try to keep the control within you. So that is important. The next one, this is a useful productivity kit. There are keyboard shortcuts available in Twitter which you can use to speed up your time, to create a new tweet, to send a message to somebody. So there are a lot of shortcuts available which you can learn. But I want to spend a little bit more time on this follow-unfollow thing. On the follow-unfollow, the term, like I said, follow-unfollow is equivalent to Facebook's friend request. I see somebody talking interesting things, so I want to follow them. So I just click on the follow button. If they are a protected account, they have to give me permission to follow. If they are not a protected account, I just follow them immediately. So what do we mean by following? When I'm following somebody, I'm actually reading what they say. That's what is the meaning. So there is something called Twitter feed in which I can see what they are saying. If I'm following Badri, whatever posts that he is adding are going to be visible in my feed. Tomorrow I get angry about something that Badri says, I go and unfollow him. Immediately all those notes will vanish from my timeline. Sometimes I do that purposefully. For example, there will be some cricket match happening and then I'm trying to work and then people keep posting cricket messages and saying, Dhoni should have caught that ball, he left it, he's a stupid fellow, all sorts of things. I don't want to listen to it, I temporarily unfollow them and then later come back and follow them after the match is over or whatever. So like that you can just play with it. So the follow-unfollow is what is actually building you a network. You may follow people manually by going and searching. For example, today Badri spoke and I spoke. You can go to Twitter, search for our names, you will find our Twitter IDs and you can follow. That is one way of doing it. The other way is, Twitter itself will tell you who to follow. Once you start following some people, for example, you are following Badri, immediately it may show my ID also because many people who follow Badri are also following me because we seem to be having similar interests. So you will be immediately following me instead of searching. You don't have to really search. Twitter will tell you who to follow. And there is another trick called Friday follow. What it means is it's a habit that people got into. Every Friday, people recommend, I'm following these people, they are writing great stuff and you also go and follow them. So that is called Friday follow. Through that also you can follow people. Like. I'm following Tendulkar, and I go and click on people like Tendulkar. So immediately it is going to tell me who are all the other cricketers who are on Twitter, who are all the other famous sports personalities who are on Twitter and stuff like that. So that similar people I can go and follow. So that is another mode. There is something called verified profiles. When really celebrities, big celebrities are there, what happens is we typically don't know if they are real celebrities or somebody else are cheating with their name. Because I can go and open a Twitter account in anybody's name, no restriction. I can create a Twitter account in Badri's name and start posting really bad stuff which will spoil his image, online image. So there is the concept of verified profile. So Twitter will come to Badri and then ask, hey, are you the real person? He will say, yes, I am the real person, this is the proof. Then it will put a verified tick mark next to his ID. So that means all other Badri, Seshadri profiles are fake. Only this profile is the verified profile. So be careful when you are following celebrities. Many times people fall for this. Even big magazines fall for this. They follow a fake profile, and the fake profile posts really nasty stuff, and these people write articles based on that tweet. Such fun happens a lot in Twitter. So be careful whom you are following. And there are a lot of spam profiles in Twitter. So that means they're all look like real people, but when you follow them, they will only post advertisements, they will give links, on click of it, some virus will come to your site and stuff like that. So they are spam profiles, so be careful about them. So spam profiles and verified profiles are in two extreme parts of the spectrum. So that is about follow, unfollow. By following and unfollowing, I am building my network. And let's say I find somebody talking really using abuse language or using Twitter to spread virus or whatever it is, so I can block them. When I block, I am only protecting myself. It is like putting a lock in my house. By putting a lock in my house, I am only protecting my house. There is a thief around, so I am locking my house. That is block. Whereas report abuse is protecting everybody. I am not only locking my door, I am going and telling the police that there is a thief here, please come and catch this fellow. So report abuse is going to tell Twitter that this fellow is a bad fellow, he is spreading virus. If many people report abuse about a particular ID, Twitter will go and block that ID so that it cannot function anymore. So this also you have to use it intelligently. These all will help you save a lot of time. Many times people unknowingly or their feed is really becoming noise. Too much of spam information, too much of unnecessary stuff. And then they say, I'm spending 5 hours, 6 hours in Twitter every week, but I'm not getting anything useful because you're not doing the necessary cleaning. So that's the thing. Then direct messages are similar to tweets, but the difference is it is direct. What it means is the personal message. So I can send a direct message to Badri, only Badri can read it, nobody else can read it. And he can reply and we can have a conversation. It is similar to tweet, but the difference is it is only visible to a single person. So that is called direct message. That also you can use it very effectively with communicating with people. The next thing that people typically do is favorite and retweet. Favorite is like bookmarking. When you see an interesting website, you just go ahead and bookmark it. When you bookmark it, what it actually means? Why do you bookmark something? You want to come back later and read it. It's the same purpose here. Somebody posted a very interesting article. I like it, but now I'm busy. I can't read that. So I just favorite it. Later when I'm free, I'll go to favorites. I'll read it. And that's a use case behind favorite. Favorite is useful only to me. Whereas retweet, the next one, just like the name suggests, somebody posted an article. I read the article is very nice, and I want everybody to know about it. So I'm basically publicizing it. Retweet is nothing but I'm telling all my followers, hey guys, there is some interesting stuff here. So that's what is called retweets. When you are retweeting, there is a concept called modified tweet also. So that means in the original tweet, he wrote about 2-3 things, but I like only one thing, or I feel some information in that tweet is not right. So I'm modifying it and then retweeting it. That way I am not blindly publicizing it, I am correcting it or editing it and then publicizing it. That is called MP or modified tweet. So that is another thing. This is another very, very useful productivity feature called lists. Okay, I am following around 600 people in Twitter. Assume each one of them are posting 10 messages a day. So I am going to get around 6,000 messages in my feed every day. So I have 24 hours. 6,000 messages to read. Can I really read all of them? It's impossible. But at the same time, I don't want to miss out on important stuff also. Among those 600, there are some 50 guys who really write useful stuff. I don't want to miss anything that they say. So I create something called as a list. I create a list and put these 50 people there. Those 50 people, they may write only 2-3 tweets a day, and I will have a special feed which will show me only those 100 or 150 tweets, which I can read quickly and then just go and continue my other job. I don't have to scan through 6,000 messages at all. So that is a useful feature called list. When you are creating the list, please be aware that you can create a public list as well as a private list. So what's the use in a public list? I told you about Tendulkar. So I'm following Tendulkar, I'm following Dhoni, I'm following Raina, I'm following X, Y, Z, all those cricketers. I create a public list called cricketers, and I put all these cricketers under that. Now by doing that, what I'm telling the world is, I have a list of cricketers here. If you are interested, you follow all of them. So I'm helping the community. By creating a single list of 40 cricketers, somebody interested in cricket can click one button and they can follow the entire list, instead of manually going and following all those 40 people. So I'm giving that benefit back to the community. That is very important in social media. What I have observed is, your social media effectiveness happens only when you give back. If you only take from social media, not much will happen. Probably you will remain a silent spectator in social media. You won't do beyond certain things. You post here, automatically gets posted in Facebook as well. It may be automatic, it may be manual. I will post 10 tweets, out of which only 3 tweets I want to appear in Facebook. Other 7 tweets I don't want it to appear in Facebook. In that case, I can selectively choose also. So that is one type of integration that we normally do. We either auto share or we selectively share. The other one is blog. You are writing a blog, interesting blog, published. The moment you publish it, a tweet goes to your people that this guy has published this article. Or you are reading somebody else's blog. Let's say you are reading Badri's blog. You can just set up a rule saying whenever Badri publishes a blog article, a tweet will go to my blog. So because I like his blog and stuff like that. So such integrations are possible. Similarly, you can integrate with something called Pinterest. In this session, we are not going to cover Pinterest, but that is another very interesting social media. It is like pictures collection. So you are collecting pictures from the web and you are keeping it in one central place. That's a very crude definition for Pinterest, but I suggest you go and read about Pinterest, you will like it a lot. Similarly, there are many other integrations possible, but I want to talk a little bit about this integration. Twitter integration is now present in almost every web application you can imagine. Okay? I'll give you 2 examples. One, you go to flipkart.com, you buy something, some book, order placed successfully, immediately they give you a button, tweet about it. So you click on the tweet about it button, what it says is, Naga Chockan purchased so-and-so book through Flipkart. So what you are actually doing is, you are doing 2 things. Number 1, you are telling people that you bought a book. Thereby you are indirectly recommending them. Hey, I bought this book, it may be interesting to you. That is one benefit. The second benefit which Flipkart gets there, you are telling I bought it through Flipkart. So that way you are saying I have purchased with Flipkart, I have some comments about it, I like it, I don't like it. Indirectly you are saying all these things. Somebody who's thinking, should I really buy things from Flipkart? May come and ask you, hey, I saw that you bought a book with Flipkart. Do you really like this? So that's how the conversation builds. So that is one type of integration. And another type of integration is, I have an application called Nike Plus. Whenever I walk, as a regular daily walk kind of thing, let's say I finished a 10 kilometers walk, 5 kilometers walk, 3 kilometers walk, whatever. So immediately, what this Nike Plus application does is, it finds out how much I walked, it draws a nice map in which route I walked. Then the moment I say I finished my walking, it posts a message to all my Twitter followers that this guy has finished a 6 kilometers walk, whatever, and with the map and everything. I don't have to do anything. The system automatically posts. So what do I gain by this? I don't know. Maybe I just want to tell people that I walk every day. Maybe I want to encourage people to walk. Maybe I'm just happy that I walked and I want to share it with the entire world. Whatever. Reasons may be anything, but we have to understand that Twitter has become way of life. That such integrations are very powerful. They are making your experience much better when you are posting something new, when you are writing something new, when you are clicking a new picture, when you are running, when you are walking, when you are buying, everything you do, they all can be put in Twitter. So that's the integration thing we are talking about. And then some people want to write more than 140 characters. Like I said, even if you are Superman, you don't get more than 140 characters. So there are third-party solutions available which allow you to write more than 140 characters. For example, there is a service called TweetLonger. When you use that, automatically the space is more than 140. After you have posted, the post will actually remain in TweetLonger and a link will be posted in Twitter. But strictly speaking, you are not writing, you are not tweeting. You are writing somewhere else, and that somewhere else is tweeted here. That's all. So that way, I am not a big fan of TweetLonger. If you really want to say more than 140 characters, my idea is write multiple tweets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can put a number and write multiple tweets. That's what I do. But some people prefer writing it in TweetLonger. It is your call. But generally, I would say don't write more than 140 characters because the whole purpose behind going to Twitter itself is writing crisp. And then you go there and then go for more than 140 characters. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, there are many other things. So let me go a little bit fast because my time is running out. The next one is called Storyfy. This is a very interesting service. Just like the name suggests, you are making a story. Storyfy is nothing but making a story. Let's say you wrote a tweet about something. Person X replied, person Y replied, and you went and added some more information. Somebody else joined, some 7-8 people joined, and in 15 minutes, you have really built a beautiful conversation. If somebody reads that entire conversation, they will understand more about this particular topic. It happens in Twitter very frequently. In really wide topics which you can't even imagine. I'll give you one example, very interesting example. A month back, night around 11 o'clock, I was about to sleep. Okay? All work over, I have to go to sleep, that's it. At the time, some song was playing in my computer, and there was a word which I didn't understand in that song. It was a Tamil song only. But one word I didn't understand. So I just posted saying, what is this word? I don't understand. It looks like this, but the meaning is not right, kind of a tweet I posted. In no time, I got around 150 responses. This can be the word, that can be the word, this can be the meaning, that can be the meaning. I did this, I did that, and all those things. Next day morning, people came and added another 100 plus tweets. It's like in around 24 hours duration, around 300 plus tweets were about one single word in the song missing. And one of those tweets, the person knew the poet who wrote that song, and he contacted that poet, and he said, this is the word and this is the meaning with which I wrote. And he tweeted that also. That's it. The entire story is there in Twitter. But if somebody has to read and search and read all those, they will not be able to. So what I did is I went to Storyfy. I just dragged out all those tweets which that conversation happened. Finally dragged out that poet's comment also. So that way it becomes a full story. So like that you can build stories. These days, Storyfy stories are believed much more than news articles. Because news articles may be biased, whereas the Storyfy stories, they will give you multiple views in a single area. So that's why people believe it. So that is about Storyfy. Then you wrote a lot of tweets and you want to download all of them. Twitter provides the archive. So you can just go and request for an archive anytime and you can download it and keep a local copy. Like I told you, it's a digital journal, right? You used it for 1 year. You want your entire 1 year journal with you. So you can download and keep it. It's there available for you whenever you want. And just like Facebook, Twitter is also available heavily in mobile. There are many mobile apps available. Twitter itself has published a mobile app. Plus, a lot of third parties have published their own mobile app. That can also be used. And there are people who use more than one Twitter ID for different purposes. I also used to have 2 Twitter IDs, but at one point I decided it's very difficult to manage 2 IDs. Why I created 2 IDs? One I created for my Tamil posts and one I created for English posts. Some people create 2 tweets, one for professional related discussions, another one for personal related discussions. Like that, you may have different reasons to create multiple Twitter IDs, but it's not difficult at all. There are clients, applications available where you can manage multiple Twitter IDs, and before posting you have to just say under which Twitter ID you are posting. And you can search tweets, especially this is used for latest trends. For example, today there is a match going on. and somebody scored a century, and then you want to go and read about it. So just type that person's name and search tweets. Many people will be talking many things about that person. So you can just, there is something called hashtags. This is used heavily for promoting certain trends. For example, today we are doing this social media session in S.K.P. So what I can do is I can create a S.K.P social media workshop kind of a hashtag. Every tweet I write about this workshop, I'll add that hashtag in the end. So the purpose is, 10 days later, if somebody wants to know what were the topics which were discussed in this social media workshop, all they need to know, all you have to do is, I will tell, okay, 10 days back I did a workshop, you just search for S.K.P social media workshop, you'll get it. So they have to just search for this hashtag, and then they will get everything in one place. So that, this is very powerful if all of you are tweeting. Okay? For example, I am saying something, somebody from here will tweet, it's a great example. Somebody from there will say, no, I read it already, this guy is copying from somewhere. And somebody else there will say, no, it's not useful at all, I don't understand anything, better this guy give a different example. So basically this builds a conversation, and all of us are using the same hashtag. They are all going under the same hashtag. So that is very important. That's what is making the media very powerful. And this is another, from hashtags, you move to something called trending topics. So trending topics are nothing but, you don't know what's happening across the world, you just go to trending topics and you will know what is actually happening. For example, suddenly Tendulkar will be trending. Okay, fine. Well, what is it? Why he is trending? Either he scored a century or he announced his retirement. So what it is? So I just click on the trend, and then I see all the tweets talking about Tendulkar. Suddenly somebody else are trending. You don't know anything about them. You just click on it, you read, and so on. So like that, trending topics are very useful to really know what is the pulse, what the entire Twitter community is talking about. Within trending topics, you can go for localized trending. For example, in India, this topic is trending. In USA, some other topic is trending. Like that. So depending on from where people are tweeting about, you can also have local trends or regional trends. Okay, Twitter supports Unicode, so that means you can create non-English tweets. Like I told you, most of my tweets, more than 90% of my tweets are in Tamil. Similarly, there are people who tweet in Telugu, Kannada, Sanskrit, or whatnot. In any language which is supported by Unicode is automatically supported by Twitter. But one thing you have to be careful is your mobile application may or may not support that language. So be careful. In fact, many people who bought a smartphone just to be on Twitter, their first disappointment is, I don't see Tamil in my smartphone. That's not Twitter's problem, that is the application problem. So just find out whether it may be application problem, it may be a device problem. You just find out whether that language will be supported in your device. Otherwise, as the platform, Twitter supports non-English. And you can do something called as automated responses. For example, anybody who are following me, I want to send them a thank you note. Thanks for following me. Or anybody who are following me in Twitter, I want to give them a link to my Facebook page so that they can follow me in Facebook as well. Like that, I can do a lot of things for that. This automated responses is very useful. I can set up automated response whenever certain events happen, and that will look like I am immediately replying to you. And Twitter can also be used for advertisements. That's called promoted tweets and promoted profiles. For example, a company is launching a new product, or somebody are releasing a new movie, they can just create a promoted tweet. So that means anybody who are talking about movies, they will see this promoted tweet in their timeline automatically. And they will click on it, they will watch the movie, they will book the ticket or whatever. So that is ads in Twitter. And another useful, these two are very useful things, these are the last two. Alerts and newsletters. These are extremely useful for being, for basically controlling your experience with Twitter. For example, whenever somebody sends me a direct message, I want to reply immediately because why they send me a direct message? Because something important that I should be aware of. Personally, they have sent me. So I can set an alert saying that whenever somebody sends me a direct message, please send me an email or please send me an SMS. So I'm going to get that and immediately I go and reply to it. So that is very useful. You really don't have to go to Twitter and check, did anybody send me a direct message? Did anybody send me a reply? Did anybody favorite my tweet? Did anybody retweet my tweet? I don't have to see all that. I can just set up alerts, and whenever that happens, I'm going to get an alert. Similarly, there is a weekly newsletter that Twitter is sending, which will introduce you to new topics that you might have missed. It will introduce you to interesting people whom you might have missed and so on. So that also helps you to follow the right people. Okay, just to summarize, all these features are there, but what I'm trying to say is, Twitter as such, even though there are these many features available, it is a very simple 140 characters status message. That's what is Twitter all about. All these other things are add-ons on top of it. But when we use these effectively, for example, every day when I wake up, I go to my mandatory list. I have a list called mandatory list. This mandatory list contains only 50 people, not 600 people. So I only see those 60 people, what they tweeted from last night. I read all that. Then I go and do my daily job. Lunchtime, I once again go to mandatory and I see it. Evening, I see it once again. Before going to bed, I check it once again. Probably 4 or 5 times, I just check that list. That's it. I got my daily dose of Twitter. I don't have to really go through all that thing and then waste my time. So that is just an example. Like that, by using these features, you will be able to make best value out of Twitter. So that's the whole purpose behind this session. Okay, I know it's lunchtime. If there are any questions, we can discuss it. Thank you.
Okay, this session is going to be fairly short. I'm not going to make it